Bitcoin spike, guys. If you're ready for a new all-time high on Bitcoin, go ahead and smash the like button. I need to know the sentiment of the market. Currently at 199, guys. It's cruising up. You're up about 2%. Smash the like button if you think we can hit a new all-time high. Guys, especially smash it if you like the idea of $100,000 Bitcoin. We think we're projected to go to exactly there, and I'm just very prominent without any equivocation that Bitcoin is going to $100,000. So I want to let you guys know that. Now, the immediate price action after you guys have done that, thank you. I appreciate it. Lets me know you guys appreciate these videos too. In terms of this flat line of resistance, we're on the hourly chart. Flat line of resistance that indicated to me last night, and we caught this spike, guys. Absolutely, last night I had to be the first guys, one of the first guys to bring this to you because look at this, guys. There's the chart from last night. Okay, brought to the DIM VIP exclusive in the back, saying even a back off in price right now would be okay on the ascending triangle. Talking about that formation now. Why? I wanted to prepare people for the fact that it would be okay for us to complete this line of support down into this area, which we perfectly did, guys. I'll talk about a contraindication here in a second. We'll talk about the upside target. You want to measure that, guys, from the origination, guys. This first hammer, this first hit, this pivot right in here, guys, to the line of resistance. From there down to the projected line of support, that would be the amplitude that you would be expected technically to carry up for your pricing target, right in that zone, guys, with the upside target of 69,000. I'm going to say around 69,000. That's what's indicated. Now, before we get there, there is a technical requirement. I'm going to say that isn't always met, but a technical requirement is to turn the previous line of resistance, guys, along the top here, into a line of support. That usually involves a curl over feature, kind of a curl over in price feature. I tell you, it's been difficult to catch Bitcoin once it takes off. It does provide opportunities for a discount if you guys are into setting your limit orders, etc., and getting cheaper Bitcoin, right? That does pay off. You'll see a lot of volatility in this zone, in this area, just tons of volatility, guys. It's nice. That's why we like Bitcoin. I want to talk about the overall group for a second. Very exciting, guys, that I was directly, as I'm unequivocal, now about Bitcoin going to 100,000. I was unequivocal in this area. You guys know that in around the $33,000 mark, guys, of it's a good time to buy Bitcoin. I was unequivocal, good time to take. I was unequivocal, good time to reaccumulate, 45, etc. Possible double down feature in terms of increasing, guys, your exposure at the 40,000. Were that up to me, I'm not gonna run your account, but you guys know the take at 50, the reaccumulation at the 45. So guys, we're up well over 100% in terms of the entirety of this channel and the gains that you could be expecting, guys. I just want you to be with the right group. So as we talk about that, let's dig into this bull flag. Why am I saying 100,000? We'll cover this, guys. I'll cover it every day. It is so beautifully expressed. You don't get macro bull flags like this. You just don't get macro bull flags like this. We have this move to the upside, right? Let's just recap it. It's beautiful. We have this downward sloping channel, line of support, line of resistance, right? We're going to carry this up, guys. The amplitude, flags fly at half mast. There you go. And we're going to get up, guys, above that $105,000 mark. That's technically indicated. I'm not going to back off this bull flag. I was the first one to call it. And look at that trajectory we have had up and out of that pattern. That is phenomenal. I love that for the channel. I love that for our VIP. If you guys are not VIP yet, join. It's the top level of membership for our YouTube channel. And there's a reason we say we're number one. We're highly technical. So in terms of those technicals, let's dig in a little bit without equivocating in terms of this current spike action. Let's bring up the fact, and this is I'd say common to many common feature to many ascending triangles, is that you do have kind of a latent channel that is expressing itself along the way up. We can go to the 5 minute. I think it's a little bit more clearly expressed in terms of this upward channel, and it's difficult to maybe view the entirety of this. There we go. This is fine. That'll work just perfect. Give me 1 second on the screen. As we look at this, a typical feature of an ascending triangle is that you'll have a channel formation, and I would just guard yourselves in terms of if you're day trading. A lot of people are already trading at this level. You see just a small hitch right there at the top line formation. Most of these channel frameworks that come up and out of ascending triangles, guys, they're expressed just like this. You'll have an ascending feature in terms of it's positive price action that's pushing it out. That flat line dynamic in terms of the resistance, the prior resistance, which we can go back to in 1 second. Let's just hit that real quickly. That flat line dynamic that we see as a key feature on that let's see, on that 1 hourly chart, the flat line dynamic, which if we go to the candlesticks, you'll see that more prominently. That flat line dynamic comes into play, and it kind of, I'd say, provides a different level of measurement for the traders in the market in terms of the expectations. Why is that? Because we're familiar with the patterns. We're familiar with this ascending triangle. Okay, that's the reason I brought it in the back last night to everyone, guys, was not only to look at the upside target, but also to look at that line of support along the bottom that was being developed as buyers stepped in. As you guys are buyers, I want you guys to be able to step into that. So the question is going to be one of twofold, just so that you understand technically what is going on right now, okay? Technically what's going on. And we have some internal features there as well, guys, some internal features. Then there's an internal ascending triangle right there on the hourly as well. But one of the features that we're currently dealing with right now would be this line of resistance, okay? That would be a line of resistance that currently we're trying to get up and above. If you guys are trading, essentially we like the idea of having a smaller bracket and a larger bracket. Your larger bracket is being carried up. That's the majority of your holdings. The smaller bracket, guys, is what you're probably day trading with, enjoying your gains, working on potential leverage options, right? As you're looking at a 5X, sometimes maybe you may short against to provide some insurance on your overall holdings, on your overall larger bracket. You may say, well, it's a new all-time high. I'm going to provide myself some insurance. I'm going to go ahead and establish, kind of a short position for a second and establish on those gains. You guys know at that red level there, that red line is there. Why? Because that was a key feature for us in terms of the opportunity to establish a short, just an insurance play. Why? Because you want to profit along the way up. Some people will call it arbitrage. I would just call it kind of an insurance play. And we had that over the past several days here with a maximized. I think it was much below that. If we look at this, up to about almost 4.5, over a 4, almost 5%. If you want 5X, guys, you're going to be in around 20. I'd say in around 20% maximized on a smaller play, guys. Just kind of an insurance play. Don't ever forget, that the fact that the volatility exists will provide you with an opportunity to gain both. Guys, you're going to gain on the moves to the downside. So when you watch those, when you watch those volatility events, just be prepared to enter into potentially some insurance plays. So right now what we're looking at, what we're waiting for is this possible confirmation along this line. A lot of buyers are waiting at this line. I'm just telling you guys, as you look at this, a lot of buyers are just sitting at this line. Orders are probably accumulating right now. There's no requirement, guys, that the exchanges just say, well, let's back off 2.28% and go ahead and pick up all these orders. There's zero requirement for that, okay? I'm just going to tell you, it's been hard to catch Bitcoin once it has really gone up and away. ETFs have just hit today. You guys know that. ETFs have just hit. I would expect some interesting price actions. All I'm going to say is the ETFs have formally hit. You guys know I prepared you with kind of an ETF option before that, and a nice ETF coin, right? I know a lot of you guys have looked at that, and I don't want to make this too long of a video. You have the upside pricing target here. In terms of the need to precisely know exactly where it's going, guys, I would just tell you that this price is currently indicated that 69,000. I had previously mentioned, I won't back off of this. I think you guys will appreciate the honesty here. The fact that the 66 to 68, I did mention, it's very interesting that we have this ascending triangle with this target above. I did mention that it could be in quote unquote trouble. Now, trouble long term, trouble short term. We can get into that, guys, but I did mention that 66,000 to 68,000. What's nice is that we have now found a pattern. It was almost like this red line. Just pay attention to this red line. Why? Because I called that exactly, like bam. That was not anyone telling me or anything else like that, guys. That was just pure market instinct. Like, that red line you see on the daily chart, it just perfectly struck into that red line. So as we look into that higher feature, that 66,000, as we look into that, guys, I just want you to know that 66 to 68, I don't think it's by coincidence that we're running into a large bullish pattern right now, guys, a large bullish pattern, essentially that is going to try and conquer that 66 to $68,000 feature. Just pay attention to that. It's much like that red line. I brought that up for a specific reason because it was very accurate. I think this 66 to 68 is going to be very interesting time for Bitcoin. And in terms of short-term versus long-term, guys, my long-term target, and it's 100,000 plus, 105,000. That's just in line, and I'll say long term because it falls in line with the macro, guys. It is on the daily macro. I have to categorize it essentially as a long term target because it's on the daily. it's a daily pattern, okay, that is on the macro chart, okay, kind of the broad-based picture chart. So I would identify that as a long-term target because it's on the daily chart. More of a short-term target, I would say we have fallen into a nice, I'd say nice large pattern on the hourly, right? So we can identify this as a more of a short-term target in terms of that expression up to this ascending triangles target, which would be about 69,000. So in the midst of there, the 66 to 68, just be prepared for some volatility, guys. We're very excited to have you as members of the channel. Thank you for subscribing. And this is London with You Guys Got It, Bitcoin Spike.